We are finally back, the Schmeat Nation 3 podcast, presented by Power Director. As always, it is I, your host, Commissioner Kale, and with me, also as always, Adam Rocket. Great to be back, Adam. How you feeling?
So good to be back. It's been a long off season. The off season always lasts way too long. Stoked to be back. Let's go.
It's crazy to hope for something so much and then immediately be like, damn, I wish football season was already over.
People giving up after week one. That's how you know we're back.
I was only slightly tilted throughout the week, so
You
can't wait for week 2. And I'll do it all again. Alrighty, same format as always. Haven't changed a single thing. No guests on the show, keeping it OG. I'm also filming in Google Meets, a little peek behind the curtain. Company change, Schmeat Nation 3 change, which is why I can't remember how to share my screen. Here we go. Jumping right in. Oh, just a heartbreaker, just a melter. Started terribly on Thursday night. Then it just kind of went from bad to worse with my decision making going into the weekend. But Andrew hops into 1-0, takes me down in rivalry week. Low scoring ish comparing to some people, but Andrew gets the job done. His team looks pretty solid this year. Just kind of a collapse from my side. General management problems already in week 1.
Yeah, he definitely had the best QB on the week, and I think just there was like 3 QBs that did well this week, and then there was like no tight ends that did well this week. So overall, it felt like a pretty low scoring week in fantasy. But yeah, you always want to be winning these close ones, so losing one early feels a little bit tough.
Yeah, that was a problem. Questionable decision making. I was a little too in the weeds. Had way too much time to think about the running back position. Somehow ended up not keeping Bulletproof Brian in there, and ended up losing. I think I also obviously should have started Jaden Daniels. Would have won there. And
yeah, that's always the problem with zero RB. And I remember from last year, it's just like it's so hard to know which bum that you picked in the 8th round to play.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a problem for me. Both me and Andrew should have some optimism. You have to assume some of our wide receivers, this will be their lowest scoring game of the entire season. And even at 13.6, pretty low for CD. And then, of course, Ayuk had some struggles adjusting to the NFL. So I think this is an optimistic matchup. We'll see if our teams can turn it around.
Yeah.
Not too much to say there other than like Joe Mixon looks like a steal, and then Devon Achane was such a great grab for him as well. The running backs look solid for him.
Optimism on your side too, just in terms of those wide receivers. Marvin Harrison probably never gonna only have one catch again. But the Cooper Kupp pick is looking like an absolute steal there. When you got him in the 4th round, he was there for everyone to take. But yeah, can't believe the number one wide receiver for the Rams went in the 4th round.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Obviously, we'll get into the Puka injury when that becomes relevant. Jumping in the next one, Parker just has Jamie's number, and it doesn't change this year. Hops up to 1-0 over Jamie. But just pretty consistent all across the board from Parker. He also has some guys you assume will turn it around. But his team looks good this year. Obviously, Jordan Love got hurt, but QB is probably one of the easier positions to fill, especially this time of year.
He beats Jamie again, but at what cost? Losing both his QB and tight end, going to have to be hitting the wire for both of those.
Not great positions or good positions to stream. Depends on how you look at it, but definitely lost some guys he would start every single week. And on Jamie's side, nothing like too outstanding. Obviously, Aaron Jones looks great. Jameer Gibbs also.
Yeah, I like her team as well. And I honestly, looking at it, again, she just lost due to defense and kicker. Like, that's what the difference came down to. So that's always awesome when you lose because of those positions.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's 17. There was a lot of kickers that went fucking crazy this week.
It was like 11. She lost 20 points there down at the bottom, and I think she lost by less than 20 points. So
yeah, definitely some optimism for the defending champ. I don't think we get the golden crown outside of the app. They still need to update the PC version, but good win for Parker, seals it. I guess we'll talk more about their teams in the rankings. we can hop into just an absolute blowout. Looks like the biggest blowout of the week on quick glance. Yeah, just absolutely slaughters Jasper here. How are you feeling about the team?
Yeah, the team just the entire day felt disgusting. Like, it was awesome to watch. I think I only had 3 total touchdowns too, and I put up 151 points. So didn't get to hit the taunt button as much as I want, but I think I'm going to be able to hit that a lot this season.
An absolute stalwart kicker game in this one. My God, Brandon Aubrey could just be a cheat code as well, but obviously Jake Moody outperforms him with 26. But otherwise, Jasper had a lot of underperformers. The Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce stack. This might be what we see this year. Some off games from Kelce. You're
It
seeing
could also
Mahomes.
just be Baltimore defense there. You never know. It'll probably come in handy later on in the season. But
Yeah, that's a good point. But man, you don't win games when not a single one of your wide receivers or flex puts up above 10 points. It's tough to get victories. And obviously, Jasper, one of the lower totals on the week, will try to rebuild. Has Brandon Cooks still on the bench? Has the opportunity to turn it around. So,
yeah,
my God. And then your bench went off, dude. You've got depth.
This is why
my God.
I've got so much depth. I don't even think I put it on waiver claim. There was no one that I wanted off the waivers more than what I already had.
Not a single guy who needs. Goodness gracious. Yeah, there's a lot of optimism for your team there. Jumping into the lowest scoring matchup of the week, Bradley Lamb secures a W of 98 points going up against Reese. Reese just had a full-blown collapse. Both these teams struggled on defense and kicker, but that's probably more Dallas than the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, on Brad's side, I'm never a big fan of starting 2 tight ends, especially this year where it seems like he has – or the tight ends just weren't as involved in week 1. I think he does have the number 2 and number 3 tight end on the year, though, with those 2 scores. So that's kind of big. But it just feels like you're limiting your ceiling with that play.
Yeah, at least in the PPR, Brock Bowers should be good. Kyle Pitts obviously saved his day with the touchdown, but there is a lot of concern, but I think it should correct itself with Amon-Ra. But otherwise, like, it wouldn't be surprising to see JSN bounce around in the single digits, and then when he has a great game, go up above 20. So he's got some versatility there, but might deal with that a lot. I expect.
Yeah. Is he in his 3rd year now, JSN? I don't know.
That sounds right. I don't know. When did that guy get picked up? No, he was drafted last year, right? He was drafted last year.
I have no idea.
Who was? Someone's pulling their damn hair out. Second year receiver. Okay, yeah. So it's just,
I was gonna say,
he was a rookie last year.
Did not really do too much last year, so you would
yeah,
hope to see him more involved this year.
We'll see. On Reese's side, it definitely got to be some alarms. Tossing up 84. He got some big waiver claims though, so we'll see if it helps him out. Good W to Brad. You love to win when you couldn't have beaten anyone else. Perfect matchup for Brad. Phenomenal. Jumping to the next one, huge. I think this was a bowl game. I can't remember the name of it, but huge game for these guys. The complete inverse of Bradley. You hate to lose when you drop 140, but both these teams are solid. Should have a high optimism. The Bears play was incredible from Max. I don't know anyone that would start Jets D over Bears this week, though that would be a foolish mistake. But makes the right call there, and Max secures a W.
Yeah, Maxime just looking solid up and down, and he's got Brian Thomas on the bench too. I was going to say the only thing that I didn't really like about his team is Austin Eckler there in the flex, but he's definitely got pieces to move in and out of there. So
yeah, feeling out the rookie week 1.
Yeah.
Looks good for him. Lad McConkey looks like a PPR darling there too.
Mm-hmm.
Have to imagine if the game script is going to be different for the Chargers, they'll be throwing it a little more, and there's really no one else to catch balls in that offense. So
yeah, and on Connor's side, you have to think Joe Burrow's going to bounce back as well. He's not going to be putting up 8 every week. It's just week 1 Joe Burrow is always never know why, but it's always the same. You can never explain it, especially when you got his guy Tua on the bench.
I don't know why he doesn't just lean in and only take Tua instead of having Tua on the bench, making you feel bad about
He just loves to bench Tua, man. He doesn't like
wouldn't
to
want
play too. He loves to pitch too much.
a locker room guy. Great
Yeah.
for the team. Yeah, another tough one with the tight end there, Sam Laporta. You don't really expect to get under 10, but obviously game script and something the Rams were doing kept it out of the main Detroit pass catchers. So
running backs for Connor look really solid this year. I mean, this is just a good running back matchup right here. And even Tyler
these guys
Lockett, we
looking
thought he was
good.
reaching on him, but he put up a decent amount.
He knows. It goes back to Jasper's, reminiscent of Jasper's Jacoby Myers pick from years past.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Nico Collins. So yeah, Saquon Barkley, he was so high on it. He'd love to see it come out and drop a bunch of points and reaffirm that decision. So he knew his guy going in. We mocked in the airport, and he was telling me he's excited about Barkley. So he pulled it right.
And then you get to press the taunt button 3 times on one guy.
On a Friday night, too, when you're least expecting to be taunted. Brutal. Jumping to the second biggest win, Seth Lamb, a year in and year out, just a great team, roster build, construction system. So we'll see what happens with Reed. Obviously, losing Jordan Love at the end of that game makes him feel a little less exciting after dropping 33, but really just a struggle across the board on Eddie's side. I mean, not a whole lot
I
going
agree.
for him.
It's tough there. Like, you would expect Jonathan Taylor to just be more involved in that offense, but apparently that offense just run the ball for 2 yards and then bomb it 60 yards down the field. That seemed like the only way that they could move the ball.
Yeah, I didn't see much of that game, but he does have Richardson on the bench. He's another guy where if he's not able to swap out one of these QBs to someone else and get a piece, we might be seeing this flip-flop left and right because Jalen Hurts can easily do this to Anthony Richardson if you were to start him. So that'll be tough. And he loses Puka, which is a bummer. He was sucking in balls left and right during that game too until he got hurt. So you hate to lose the wide receiver too in a good offense, but maybe he'll get him back.
On Seth's side, just putting up big numbers with a couple dudes underperforming with Trey McBride and Terry McLaurin there. His team probably going to be looking pretty good going forward.
Yeah, I think Seth is looking real nice. Lamar back doing his running thing and seems to have found a gem in Likely there. So we'll see where they go. But all right. Long awaited.
Everyone's been waiting for it.
The first week 1 power rankings. Jarvis and Hance. Boom. Dropping it in. Adam securing the top spot from both of us. I thought you might have given yourself a little down, but that just screams confidence to me.
I mean, just you look at my team and then you look at my bench and it's got all the pieces there. Like I said, there wasn't anything out on the waivers this week that could have made my team look better, other than maybe picking up Likely, but there was no way he was getting to me.
Yeah, it wouldn't fall through the entire team. Looks like we got discrepancies here at the 2 and 3 spot. I like Max's team a lot when I was looking at it going down. It's tough in week 1. You're only looking at different things, but I think with the hits Parker took and the injuries, he felt like a good 2 slot there. And then, of course, I was harsher on Parker. I'm always harsh. I'm Parker's biggest hater, apparently. I think every single year I hate this guy's team. So
I feel like you pick against him like every week. The pick him. But yeah, I saw his team, and I guess he did get a lot of points from the kicker and defense, which isn't going to happen every week. But I felt like he had a solid enough team around it to warrant the number 2.
To slot him at the 2, it's fair. Yeah. Like any other big discrepancies? Looks like I'm fairly high on Andrew. Yeah, I like Andrew's team this year. I think he had good construction. I also thought he had some options on the bench that he can easily move in. That should be pretty consistent for him. But
yeah, I just went through and looked at the upcoming matchups, and his lineup this week had Cortland Sutton and Chuba Hubbard in the flex, and I was not very confident in that, and that's probably why I had
That's a fair flag. And Achan obviously may or may not play, so that'll impact it. But oh man, just like going against Josh Allen feels so bad in 6 point because he's not only rushing it, but then can throw it like the best of them. So that's just tried and true 30 points every single week. Then like CD as well is a monster, and they just didn't really need him after like the second quarter there. So we're even on the bottom though.
Yeah,
They got
I mean,
those guys.
these first few weeks, I do always feel like the bottom is the easiest to pick out, which feels really bad for Reese here having the number 1 overall pick and then ending up on the bottom. But hey, I was there last year. It took me, I think, until like week 3 or 4 to get myself to the bottom. Though Reese speed running it first pick to last
Reese
in the
running
power
straight to
rankings.
bottom speed run. It seems like a lot of holes on his team. A lot of guys that felt like you only needed to see 1 week to understand that they're not going to be great, but prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
That's what the power rankings are for. Only up.
Looks like we have big discrepancy on Jamie too. You like Jamie's team a lot. I apparently hate
I
Jamie's team.
did like Jamie's team. I can't remember why, but I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, I thought she had solid running backs, solid wide receivers, probably upside on the tight end, and then her flex is a little bit questionable, but I thought she had some good moves in the waivers. Yeah,
That's
she's
a
got
good
Tyler
point,
Johnson right there right now, but I thought Aaron Jones really showed out in week 1.
He plays Sanfran, man. She's playing the matchups. She
I
knows
guess
they're going to be behind, dude.
yeah, right. But he is
Got it
still the
unlocked.
passing back there. It's like Aaron Jones, he was the main rushing guy, and he's always been a pass catcher. So it's like, is he just going to be their workhorse? Who knows?
That's a good point.
That
Probably
could
too
be
harsh.
that could be a good pick right there. I don't know. I liked it. I like your team, but we'll see.
It's tough. We'll see how they shake out. Any others of note?
No, I don't think so.
This one's tough. I don't have my glasses, so like maybe I'm just not seeing the teams correctly. You know, we'll see how this shakes out next
I mean,
week.
week 1, I feel like is when we always have our biggest differences. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I
We're
feel
not
like
aligned.
week 4, week 5 is right around when we start getting into the very similar rankings.
We get in the groove. That's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
it's still like, you got to learn who's on everyone's team.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, we ready for the first matchup previews of 2024?
Let's dive in.
Let's rip it. Hopping it. Oh God, this is always the question. I think I clicked box score. Oh, there we go. Good call. Do we get an ad? Nice.
No ads.
All right, first matchup, 0-1. Myself taking on the 1-0 Max. I'll be honest, when I was accepting my loss and I looked on the schedule and saw Max, I was just like, God fucking damn it. Like, guy just put up second highest points on the week or third highest points on the week, and now I have to take him on. The matchups look phenomenal. I assume he'll move in the Jets defense too against Tennessee, which the Bears just got 26 points against. So I'm not feeling great going in just with the defense moves, but I have to trust in the process.
A couple more moves around that flex position as well. Get Austin Eckler out of there. Maybe go Brian Thomas or Devin Singletary. We'll see.
Yeah, he's got options for sure.
He's got options, and you unfortunately don't look like you have options. But you got Cooper Kupp in the flex, and that always is going to look good.
Dude, you think I don't have options? Wait till I slip Chase Brown in there in the 11th hour.
Yeah, your running back room is just tough right now.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
I feel it so much because that's exactly what my team was last year.
Yeah, and you can see like the thought process is there, right? If these 3 fucking losers don't put up terrible, like I would be easily up above 130, you know. But yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I'm hoping that Brian Robinson can just be the hero RB I need, and then plug and place and make mistakes throughout the year. But on the flip side, Max's running back room is fucking phenomenal. These guys probably easily in PPR are going to be top 10 each. I mean, Breece Hall has a chance to be in the number 1, so
yeah, especially going up against Tennessee this week. I don't know. I don't particularly think they have a great pass rush. Travis Etienne might have a bit more of a struggle against Cleveland, but who knows there.
Yeah, I mean, and he just gets peppered with targets, so.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, I got to be confident in myself. Favored by 5.5 points. I'm taking myself.
Favored by 5.5, but I think Max is going to make that 5.5 up when he makes some adjustments to his lineup. I'm going to take Max here.
That's a good point. The line will shift moving into the weekend. It'll be bet down. Jumping into the second one. Again, I think Jasper did not feel very great when he saw that he had Jamie on the horizon. Jamie's team, I do feel like I have them too low now that I look at it with all the little points next to them. That it looks pretty damn dominant, and I have very low confidence in pretty much all of Jasper's receivers.
That is tough. Like I liked the Amari Cooper pick at the time, but man, I tell you, they need to get Jameson there ASAP to save that offense.
Yeah, and I think that could happen sooner rather
Same
than
thing
later.
for Carolina. They need to get Andy Dalton in there.
You give
It
up
feels
on
weird to
Bryce
say,
Young.
but I mean, Bryce Young, it just did. He doesn't look like he's got it, man.
Who's that guy? Dave Canales. You just gotta let him cook, right?
Right, apparently.
Let him shape it out. I don't know if there's really too much to say. I mean, we'll need a staple Patrick Mahomes game.
That's what it comes down to, is if like Travis Kelce ends up with the kind of game where he gets like 100 yards and a touchdown or maybe 2, Patrick Mahomes is just throwing it all over the place, then maybe that's where Jasper squeaks out a win, but that's a big if right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, and I don't necessarily think Minnesota is that good of a defense. So Debo and Kittle, especially if CMC's out, that could be prime for Jamie and her double stack.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Jamie here.
Yeah, I'll take Jamie as well. Give her the nod there after a tough rankings performance from me. Sorry, Jay, but he'll probably prove us wrong. Honestly, that guy and his weird ass receiving core always comes through.
I mean, yeah, it'll happen at some point this year.
Jumping in, we got 1-0 Andrew versus 1-0 Seth. Sneaky great matchup here. Almost was game of the week, was in contention. This one I think could really come down to if Achan plays tomorrow. Achan had a big role in the receiving game, and I don't really know if Andrew has a great pivot here. He probably move Chuba Hubbard up and get one of these kind of flying wide receivers in. But oh man, the teams look good. I wish I had teams like this. Would feel way better about myself.
Like I said, just my reservation with Andrew's team is having Cortland Sutton and Chuba Hubbard in the flex there. I think most of his team looks good. You know, I'm a big Achan and Joe Mixon guy. I mean, he's got running back 2 and 3 from week 1 on this team there. But yeah, just going back down the line, will Brandon Ayuk be able to figure out how to catch a ball at some point? Who knows?
Oh yeah, you have to assume they'll try to get him a nice get back. Had good look in the end zone, just dropped it. On Seth's side, the flex is actually it's a little more even because Terry McLaurin and Jaden Reed, like obviously
you gotta think
Reed
that Terry McLaurin is going to be more involved. Who did Washington play week 1? They played the Bucks.
The Bucks, it's tough D.
Or something, yeah. And for Jaden Reed, I mean, the Packers, Matt LaFleur is going to figure out a way to get the ball into Jaden Reed's hands. I mean, you saw how dynamic he was.
Yeah, I guess he had a rushing
touchdown
too.
Go wildcat with them or just a bunch of jet sweeps, but they'll figure out a way to get the ball in his hand that doesn't involve Malik Willis doing too much.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm worried about Jaden Reed and that offense and the flex in general. This is a tough one to pick.
That was an offense that had 4 potentially viable wide receivers, and now all of a sudden it's just one guy that you can start.
Yeah, I feel like Garrett Wilson and Rodgers are just going to annihilate this Tennessee defense. So it's whether or not Brandon Ayuk.
Or is it going to be Brees? Oh, that's what.
Or Alan Lazard. That guy's a freak. Yeah. Someone get him in the roster.
I think I'm going to go with Seth here in this matchup. I got to stick to my rankings, and I'm a little bit low.
Who did I rank? Did I put Andrew? I did.
You have Andrew at 4.
Oh, I have Seth at 6. Oh, don't like his team as much as I thought. I guess give me Andrew. Let's split it early.
Yeah.
Get it going. Man, 139 to 136. Close. Give me the favor. Can't really pivot if HN doesn't play, but definitely a factor.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can square. The fact that they already moved out Mostert makes me think HN will play, but we'll see. Jumping into the next one, 2 0-1 teams, but wildly different stories. Reese at 0-1 taking on Connor at 0-1. Reese, though, with 2 player rank 1s from the waiver wire. Must feel great about that. You can throw against Detroit, so could see another Baker Mayfield classic there. But it is tough to go down the line and not think Connor wins this one.
Yeah, I mean, sure, Baker Mayfield had 37 points that week, but that's just not who Baker is. You know, he's never been a consistent fantasy producer. You know, he's always had his stuff. And Isaiah Likely, I mean, it's like they're gonna run two tight ends all the time. So I feel like him and Mark Andrews are just gonna flip flop back and forth, which isn't necessarily bad for the tight end position. I just think that I wouldn't be shocked if at the end of the year week one was his highest week of the year.
Man, I hope so. I guess we didn't talk much about Mark Andrews and how fat tilting that was, but we'll breeze over it. He does cap the upside, like having Zay Flowers and Likely. Obviously, they could both score, but then you also have Lamar's feet and Derrick Henry. So
they won't have to this weekend, though. I mean, on Connor's side, yeah. Again, it just comes down to those running backs. I think he's got a really solid running back room. And
they do go into Burrow.
I'm not going to be shocked if Sam Laporta outscores Likely by 10 points this week. I think it wouldn't be crazy.
Ooh, that's a spicy one. Yeah, I think he doesn't have much wiggle room there, but the flex will be interesting to watch.
I want him to go with two of it. It's his guy.
But he's going into Burrowhead, man. Joe Burrow owns those guys.
I'm wondering, like, I know that he wins a lot against Kansas City, but, like, what are the stats on it? Does he have good fantasy production against them? I don't know. I feel like they're always kind of grindy games.
Yeah, they're good ones. I'm surprised it's not the Sunday night game, to be honest. They chose Bears, Houston, and that'll be interesting. Yeah, I guess. Why not shine the rookie early while he's throwing less than 100 yards?
I'm definitely taking Connor in this matchup.
Yeah, I think I will as well. I don't know if CMC moves the needle enough for Reese, and then DK goes to another tough matchup against Christian Gonzalez, and obviously not Pat Surtain, but could be another tough day for the Seahawks offense. We'll see. Jumping in, penultimate game here. Himothy University 0-1. Eddie takes on Brad at 1-0. Eddie favored in this one despite our rankings saying otherwise. What do you like in this matchup?
I don't know, man. There's really not all that. This is our number 9 versus number 10 ranked matchup right here. So there's definitely not too much to look at so far. But again, prove me wrong. Just looking at Brad's side, I said it before and I'll say it again. I can't get behind starting 2 tight ends.
What else do you got? I mean, he obviously wants to start T. Higgins.
He misses T. Higgins, but
Brad's got the rookies, man. He's scaling.
All in on the rookies. Yeah, his team is going to look disgusting when he's 1-6.
Oh my God, taking shots. You think he doesn't win this game? You taking Eddie?
I'm looking at the team, and Eddie's team, it doesn't look great. Don't get me wrong, but I think I like it more than. I don't know. I gotta think a little bit.
You gotta crunch the numbers.
Yeah,
I don't hate the Bowers pick this week. I think they'll be feeding the fuck out of him when they're down by a lot to Baltimore, who's probably fucking pissed and goes home to the bank. So I think Vegas will be throwing quite a bit throughout that game. Kyle Pitts saved his day with the touchdown. We'll see if that can hold. Kirk Cousins did not instill confidence as someone with a Falcons receiver. I feel it. But against Tampa with Amon-Ra, oh man.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about against Brad's team is Amon-Ra isn't going to go out and put up 4 points again. You can't think that. You would hope that JSN also comes out and throws up more points. But I think Brad's team just needs time is the thing. Like Keon Coleman, yeah, he was out there a lot, but he's still.
God, he is all in on the rookies. My God. This guy's got every one.
It's great. He just loves young guys. Avoid the meatball at all costs.
Yeah, and I guess I put him higher, but he had a tough showing week 1 too.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Eddie here. I think I'm going upset.
Whoa.
According to my ranking.
I picked against the Lamb brothers earlier. Get me back on Bradley's train. I'll jump into it. Give me that one. That'll be a fun matchup. There's great matchups this week, but are any better than the game of the week? 1-0 touchdown boys. Parker going up against you. 1-0 the Fighting Deans. Adam, two teams that are just awesome on paper. Look great. Top to bottom, pretty solid. There's concerns really about Christian Kirk. I'm not too worried about Chris Olave. I think he'll sort it out, but otherwise,
Yeah, I
these are both set up for some success.
that New Orleans offense got up quick, and then they just didn't need to throw the ball much more that entire game. So Chris Olave should hopefully start seeing more. And I think we were dogging him on the Ramondre pick in the draft, but that one turned out pretty good. So look at that.
Yeah, he proved me wrong immediately. That guy was just force fed the ball. I think he had like fucking crazy amount of opportunities. He had 25 carries, probably had a couple catches too. Looks like a great pick to back up Bijan as well.
Mm-hmm. And
we
got
saw
solid receivers there. I love Mike Evans a lot.
Yeah, he looks great. The receiving core is solid. It's frustrating to go the zero RB and then be like, I could have just had running backs and still had good wide receivers. Look at these teams. So we'll see if it works out for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of where my team is at this point. Again, I got the depth on the bench too. Like, it's almost to the point where it's like I don't know who to start. I got so many guys, you know. It's always a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. Feels like you can't go wrong. Can't accidentally put Chase Brown in.
Exactly.
Not terrible.
Yeah.
It's tough to. I am just a certified Parker hater, and it's tough to back Parker in this one after the week you had and the matchups that you're going with, especially after that weird week one performance with Jamar Chase. You expect him to get a lot of looks moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely taking myself here. I got a lot of confidence. I put myself at number one for a reason.
Yeah, I put you at top dog as well. I'll do it too. Unfortunate injuries to Parker. I'm not sure my decision changes regardless. So he does have a cheeky Colby Parkinson Stafford stack. So
we'll see if that helps him out there. I feel like that it's just going to be the Cooper Cup show for the time being, as it was in 2020 or 2021, whenever that was.
I hope so. I hope so. Alrighty. That's it. Let's see if I can sort this out. Oh, it's an easy button. There we go. Great to be back in fantasy. Feels good. A little tilting. Lost my cool for a minute over the weekend, but we're back.
That's just week one football. I mean, when you go 1 week and you didn't get that win, it's tough not to think that your season's over.
And it really is over now that I think about it. I guess we didn't do the one quick rip of the old ESPN who it thinks going to win check.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, some big movement here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
From worst to first, let's fucking go, baby.
1 week to move up 11 spots.
Yeah, man. ESPN hated my draft.
Oh, no.
And
Reese also ranked at 12 in the ESPN Power Rankings. You hate to see it.
Oh, man. How close were we? Where's Jasper? Oh,
Jasper's 10. I remember pretty close. All right. Yeah. Oh, no, him at the U. So they're a little less bullish on him at the university than we are, but well, yeah. And Bradley not moving at all. Wait, who had Brad at 6? No one. Alrighty, here are the standings as they lie. Big pickups for Reese with the likely. Let's see if it works. Reese, let me know if you want to bet who gets more points. Little underwear push-up bet on the Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely tidbit there. Post-credit scene. Any final words?
It's good to be back. Always is. I'm excited for week 2.
Amen to that. Great game tomorrow. We'll see y'all on the flip, Schmeat Nation.